I'm going to tell my infantry to charge in. My archers are in a perfectly fine position, so I don't really need to worry about them so much. Oh yeah, that was a nice assist from that archer right there. Did you see that? That guy was able to stumble the spearman just as I was barreling toward him. Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor. Now, when we left off, we were at the town of Valenbray, picking up a couple of various pieces of loot. Actually, literally various loot, and I have not sold them yet, because I kind of wanted you to see the profits from that. I did actually sell the other remaining bits of loot that I did gain from varieties of different battles and everything, and I have now come down here to Windholm, and I was literally just trying to search for a ransom broker. Unfortunately not yet found one, but I was able to find a farmer that needed some help, and so we are going to attempt to purge the village of these pillagers and see what we can do about helping them out a little bit. And whoa, there's actually, wow, that's pretty scary. That is pretty scary, I must say. Seeing a whole bunch of rogue Blackheart knights and everything coming up there, yeah, that's nothing to be too overconfident about, that's for sure, because in Pendor, nothing is as it seems. And even if you are dealing with random bandits that should be extremely easy, you're always going to be up against a couple of rogue Blackheart squires or knights or whatever they may be, and yeah, they definitely know how to pack a punch. Thankfully they're not punching me right now, they're actually punching a couple of farmers, even though that's not strictly good either. But hopefully we'll be able to limit the amount of damage they're able to do. And I'm going through a roof. Oh yes, I hit the roof. Not in that way though, unfortunately. Yeah, we're not that powerful. We're not that powerful that we're going to hit the roof and the power level of our, ceiling. And, never mind. Whatever. Anyway, that is it. Yes, there's only 5 left. And then we'll be heading on, actually, to Ishkoman, because what I'd like to do is try to participate in a tournament there, if I can get there in time. I did go to the arena and I was like, yes, there's a tournament going on here. I'd like to participate, if at all possible, because again, what we need to do in mid-game, in Pendor, at least my plan at the moment, is to try and make as much money as possible, try and get as much renown and honor as well as possible, and that's exactly the reason why I'm doing this quest, because it is pretty fantastic for honor. I'm actually unsure how much it actually gives you, but let's just, I've got 21, how much did I have before? I'm not entirely sure, but there you go, we did complete the quest. I still need to visit my lady, of course. That is 29 days. And we also need to raise, some Salian halberdiers. But that shouldn't be too bad. I actually have a couple of units that are very, very close to that level. So hopefully we'll be able to see a couple of extra Salian halberdiers coming in pretty soon. Now, what I am on the lookout for is just really high-tier units in the taverns, as well as very lucrative prisoners in... Oh, that's actually not too bad for us. That is not too bad for us. Anyway, yes, Ravenstone declaring war against the Fyhrr there, and yes, I'm actually on the lookout for extremely valuable prisoners. So if I'm going through Dashar territory, I'm going to be looking out for some Singalian slavers and things like that, and I'd like to speak to Caliph Barman. Why do you trespass into Dashar territory? I'm not trespassing, sir. I'm just, just walking on. Do you have any tasks? Are you... This guy has been an absolute thorn in my side from the very beginning, because I've been attempting to buy an enterprise from him for a very, very long period of time. I actually would like to get one in Ishkoman, hilariously enough. And unfortunately, because he is at -1 relation with us, we are unfortunately not able to do that. So, yes, I might have to go around him somehow. I might have to just try and, do a little bit of something behind the scenes and try and get his relation up that way. Maybe rescue him or something. I don't know how that's going to work, but anyway. I am now being attacked by a couple of bandits, which is not great. Thankfully, those bandits do not incorporate rogue Blackheart Knights, because if they did, I think we'd have some problems. Now, I'm just going to try and see if I can... There we go. Let's just kill them without taking any damage. Yes, that's a rare occurrence, isn't it? Yes, very much so. Anyway, is that it? No one else? I find it hard to believe that there are actually others, but... sometimes the bandits can be pretty tenacious, and they can be a little bit more stubborn at showing themselves, and it seems like this is actually one of those times. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, that's just how it... Oh, I was going to say, that's just how it goes. It's Warband, but no. Apparently this guy did want to show... What? Where did he go? Yeah, so he was actually stuck, and then he warped himself out of the stuck area. I don't know why they don't warp themselves out of being stuck a lot easier, you know, or should we say a lot quicker in the future. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so finally, I should be able to go into the tavern here. Young Bacchus Noble. Those nobles are actually really good because they do become hero adventurers. If you decide to level them up into the mercenary line, which I think is actually pretty good. I mean, obviously, hero adventurers are absolutely fantastic. I'm actually going to get these guys because I'm at a pretty low number at the moment in our army, and I think it might be nice to supplement our forces with something else, you know, something a little bit more... Well, they're not meaty at the moment, they don't have a lot of toughness yet, but they are going to gain it once they become hero adventurers, so hopefully that's going to happen. And there's a ransom broker, very nice indeed, so let's just sell these guys. Ooh, very nice. The Queen Agnes freebooters sell for 300 a pop, that's really good, and hopefully we'll be able to capture a couple more of those in the future, but do they have any rumors? No, Ordis does not have any rumors. I personally feel like we look really cool. I know I've said this before, but my armor looks really nice, and it seems to match relatively well. I mean, obviously my torso armor could get a little bit of an upgrade in terms of its visuals, but at the moment I think it's alright. Okay, so what we're going to do before we head into the tournament is I'm just going to sell a couple of these various pieces of loot here for 1,300, which is crazy in itself. I mean, just getting that much money just from a rumor that cost me, what was it now? I think it was 200 or something like that. That's pretty amazing. Alright, so let's actually just take a quick look here just to make sure that I'm not missing out on any torso armor that I could replace it with. Here's the thing. I've been kind of thinking to myself over the years about playing Pendor. You never really want to buy armor. The only really time that you want to buy armor is if you have Noldor equipment available, and even then, maybe it's not the best idea, because it is going to cost a huge amount, and, oh, the tournament is taking place during the day. Okay, a soft voice awakens you, but no one is there, leaving you feeling unsettled. Alright, well, that's not very good. I don't particularly... Well, a soft voice is not too bad. If it was something a little bit more snake-like, then I think we could be in for some trouble, but yes. Anyway, oh, Lord Andre has been freed from captivity by the Noldor. Well, that's interesting. He must have friends with the elves. That's pretty good. Alright, so the tournament is finally upon us. So let us place a bet on ourselves here. Of course, this is for very much needed renown, much needed money, and I don't think we get... Do we get honor for this? I don't think we get honor for this, but yeah, the renown is obviously going to be very, very important. And now let's just try and get a quick... Yes, I was gonna be like, yes, let's get a quick kill immediately so that we don't have to worry too much about being eliminated so fast, because, you know, that can happen. That can happen very, very quickly. And there you go. Okay, so that's 2 kills. That is basically enough to... I mean, 1 kill should assure me a spot in the next round, but, you know, I just like to be a little bit careful when it comes to that kind of thing. You know, when you're fighting in a tournament, you just want to make sure, you know, you want to make 100% sure that you are going to be in the next round. And it seems like the blue team is doing a fantastic job, although, never mind, apparently the yellows are very much winning the day here, and I'm not a big fan of that, so let's see if I can do something here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so these guys are basically all Scorpion assassins apart from a couple of random units like regular fighters and so on and so forth. So I'm not a big fan of that because I remember those Scorpion assassins from a long time ago. I don't think I've actually fought Scorpion assassins in the last series of Pendor that I created, but before that, yeah, I very much remember them being extremely deadly. Maybe not with thrown weapons, but with their main weapon, their main melee weapon, they were formidable opponents. Alright, so what do I... Oh, no. Oh, okay, that's fine. Phew, I was a little bit worried there for a second. I was like, oh no, don't give me throwing weapons. I'm absolutely awful with those. Yeah, so thankfully they have given me a club, which should enable me to... Never mind, I'll take some damage, and then... Ah, there we go, that's a little bit better. Not too bad there, and maybe I'm able to get... Maybe a little bit of extra damage. Oh, are you serious right now? Are you serious? Okay, come on now. Let's try and not get killed, shall we? Everyone here seems to be very good with a bow. Gotta say, I'm a bit disappointed by that, because that's making things very difficult for me. Oh, no. Okay, no. Yes, okay, come on, let's see if we can do some damage to the yellow team guy, or not, as the case may be, getting knocked out by an adventurer. And that's it. Scorpion Assassin wins the day. Wow, yeah. Well, that's what happens, isn't it? That is what happens. I really hoped that we would be able to complete that, but I suppose Ishkomen did have its rewards for us, so to speak, because I was able to find a ransom broker, and of course I was then able to sell my various loot to the merchants there as well. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so apparently we are now at peace with the Empire, and the Empire has declared war against the Dashar once again. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're actually just going to wait until this Singalian patrol... Yeah, there we go. Thank you very much. This is the exact kind of thing we need to pick ourselves up from that tournament defeat and go into enemy territory and try and see if we can do something against them. Aren't we still at war against the Ravenstern? That's something that I'm gonna need to check on, actually, because I'm not entirely sure if we are. But whatever the case, I am actually just gonna try and deal as much damage as possible to the enemy units and try and just distract them a little bit, really, because obviously these spearmen are going to be extremely powerful against our cavalry, so hopefully our cavalry will not head over here and decide to attack them. I'm going to tell my infantry to charge in. My archers are in a perfectly fine position, so I don't really need to worry about them so much. Oh yeah, that was a nice assist from that archer right there. Did you see that? That guy was able to stumble the spearman just as I was barreling toward him, and it basically stopped him in his tracks. He was unable to swing his polearm at us, and that's exactly the kind of support that I need from those archers. Certainly very, very effective. Alright, so otherwise, I think we are pretty good here. I mean, we have beaten Singalians very many times before, and obviously this is no exception because they kind of split up a little bit too much. And that's the main reason why they have difficulties, because their cavalry tends to charge in ahead of everyone else. And usually, you know, if you have a huge amount of horse archers or, you know, whatever the case, then that's a good idea, because you're able to get some really nice hit and run attacks, do a little bit of fleeting damage here and there, and just generally soften up the opponent. But when it comes to the Singalians, they don't actually have that many horse archers, so them deciding to tell their cavalry to charge in just straight up, that's probably not the best idea for them. However, they apparently refuse to change their ways, and yeah, they should probably learn from the Jatu. But yeah, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Anyway, there's another 2 left. And then we'll be able to rescue 15 prisoners, and this is exactly the reason why I wanted to go through Dashar territory, with the exception of obviously doing the tournament as well. And after this, we're going to be heading on over to Our Lady and seeing what she has to say, and hopefully, isn't this going to take us to 15 relation? I hope it's going to take us 15 relation. If not, then we'll just have to do it one more time, and then hopefully she will be open to marriage. And then I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen after that, because as far as I'm aware, if I marry her, doesn't that mean that I then become a vassal? I'm actually unsure about that. I don't think, as I've said in a previous episode, don't think I've ever... Oh, it seems like they don't level up into hero adventurers anymore? Or maybe they need to go into rogue back as squires and then they go into hero adventurers. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, yes, as I was saying, I have not ever before married someone, as far as I'm aware, maybe way back in one of the very early versions of Pendor. Maybe then I married someone, but only after I had already created my faction or I was already a vassal. I don't think I've ever done that while I've been a mercenary, so not entirely sure how that's going to go. Now, thankfully, we are now at peace with the Empire, so I don't really need to worry about the morale plummeting or doing any damage to our, well, otherwise healthy army. And yeah, I was saying, wow, about that 185 Syncalian slavers. Those guys are certainly going to be pretty difficult for us, so I'm probably not going to be attacking them anytime soon. But anyway, let's take a quick look and see just exactly what is happening in the world. Wow, okay, so we're currently at peace with basically every single faction. So I guess this is as good a time as any to go over to Noldor territory and see if we can help some of their patrols in battle. Because obviously, if they, well, technically, if we are not at war against the Empire any further, then technically we can help them in battle against the Empire, and then we don't have to worry about being attacked by them or being attacked by the Empire or anything like that. So that should be pretty good. Oh, here we go. This is actually, oh dear. Well, yes, okay. So unfortunately, I will not be able to participate in this fight, or maybe I will. This is actually going to be a pretty decent fight for us to participate in. So I'm actually going to go in here, and we're going to go in to help Duke Alamar. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and charge at the Noldor with my lance, try and knock them unconscious, try to take them prisoner, and then release them. Now, I think what I need to do is I need to take 3 prisoners or above to make this worth it. Because I think in the past, I've attempted to do this, and the relation of the Noldor has reduced by, I think it is 3 for me attacking them, or technically attacking them. And so if I'm able to take them prisoner, at least 3 of them, then we're going to be able to nullify that, that negative loss, and then we'll hopefully be able to gain at least 1, maybe even 2. Now I need to be very, very careful here. They are in a very, very good position. I mean, how can you expect the Noldor to be in anything else but a good position? And we're going to be having some problems here, I can assume. Maybe. What? Do they... Wait a minute. Do they really have off-brand units? Do they really have off-brand units? I think they do, which is kind of surprising to me. Okay, well, never mind. I'm just going to try and charge. Or not, as the case may be, because my horse absolutely got murdered by 129 damage hit shot. Wow. Now that is impressive. I am actually really surprised that our units are not dying. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yes, there's a little bit of damage there, but yes, unfortunately now that I don't have a horse, it's going to be basically impossible for me to take any of the Noldor prisoner. So I guess I'm just going to have to deal with the relation loss, but we're going to have to do it a different way then. I mean, that's the thing. That's partially also the reason why I've never really joined Sarlian. Because whenever I've seen in the past, every single time I've wanted to, help some Noldor in battle, they've usually been fighting a Sarlian vassal, or an Empire vassal, of course, but in this case, they're fighting some Sarlian vassals. And in general, that's kind of partially the reason why I didn't join them beforehand, because it does make, wow, it does make that much of a difference. Look at that. We lose -4 relation. That is not good. That is not good at all. So I'm not entirely sure. Whoa. Okay. Well, I don't really mind so much now. Losing that 4 relation. I think that's actually pretty fair for a swap for a Noldor Gold Leaf Warhorse. That's pretty amazing. Now, of course, it is lame but our wound treatment is going to do its magic on it, and we also now have the opportunity to take many of these fellows and rescue them, which is great in itself, so nothing really to complain about, I guess. I mean, I traded 4 relation with them for a pretty awesome horse, and then a bunch of decent units. I mean, these guys are, I'm gonna say they're not exactly, you know, fantastic, but they're gonna be really nice to supplement our army. So there you go. Not bad, not bad. Alright, so let's take some heretic worshippers, I guess. And yeah, I know a couple of you actually did say that mercenary warriors are not actually that good, but they do become, what do they become now? They become mercenary sergeants. And they seem to be reasonable units, and they're kind of higher tier than most of these that we currently have available to us. So I guess I'm just gonna take them, and I guess I'll take the Levy Horsemen, and that will be it. There we go. Alright, so yes, unfortunately, I see, that's the thing. I couldn't help the Noldor against our Sarlian vassals, because these guys, I mean, Duke Alamar, to begin with, has 32 Rangers of the Clarion Call. Now, of course, if the Noldor had about the same amounts of units, then, you know, I'd probably join the Noldor and just defeat the Sarlian vassals very, very easily. But again, that's going to reduce our relation. And how much relation do we actually have with the Kingdom of Sarlian? 22, so I think we could probably do that. We could probably join against a Sarlian vassal and help some Noldor, but in that case, that's just not going to happen. It's going to be impossible for me to win that battle with so many Rangers of the Clarion Call under the command of Duke Alamar. So yeah, that's also a bit of an issue. But otherwise, let's go around the Noldor forest here and see if there's any Noldor needing some assistance. And if there is, then that's very good. There's another Sarlian halberdier for us. And what do those guys go into? Where's the... there they go. Are they going to Rogue Blackheart? Oh, okay. So we've not actually seen any Rogue Backer Squires just yet. Right. Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad, I guess. So let's just look around the forest a little bit and see if they're in battle with anyone. Maybe some Jatu? Alright, so with a very, very small amount of time since, you know, we could just cut away there, there's actually some Snake Cult kidnappers in our grasp. Technically, we could attack them as soon as possible, because they do have some Bacchus Empire ladies in waiting. They also do have 2 Noldor units. Now, I'm pretty sure that you're not able to rescue Noldor units, but maybe you are, and maybe you're able to get some relation. I keep getting mixed up about that, to be honest. I think it's probably not the case, but maybe if it is, then that could be pretty cool. And otherwise, I have spotted a couple of Noldor Rangers here. And these guys would be pretty good to shadow along this area here, because there's a lot of Jatu activity on the border between the Noldor forest and the Jatu desert lands right there. So it might make sense for us to do that. But I think for now, what we're going to do is, considering the Noldor are not going anywhere, I'm going to see if I can... Are you seriously running away from me and instead running... I really don't know. I really don't know what to say right there, because literally that is... I think that's probably the dumbest AI that I've seen recently from Pendor, and indeed from Warband in general, because why would a band of snake cultists decide, yes, let's run into the band with 180 units instead of the band with 94? Doesn't make sense. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so, we have Lethal Durin here. We're a trifle close to my home territory for my comfort, but I admit I've missed these woods. I hunted here often as a lad. I do find it difficult being surrounded by humans, rather than amongst my own kind. Have you any idea how foul most of you smell? Noldor cleanliness standards are vastly higher than those of humans. I also miss our music. Your clumsy pipes and whistles cannot compare to a Noldor flute, and your croaking is by and large unmelodious. Well, I guess that's kind of true, so I'm not gonna dispute it, I guess. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of Noldor activity here. So there's also Ithilrandir, a Noldor Lord. There's also, wow, a whole bunch of Noldor patrols running around here as well. So, yeah, here's the thing. I can't really go close to these guys. They're moving at 4.9, and I'm moving... Are they actually moving at 4.9? How much am I moving? I'm moving at 6.2. So I should be fine. I'm moving at 4.4 when I'm in the trees, and they are moving at 3.5 when they're in the trees. So I should be absolutely fine to get away from them, but it seems like I'm going to need to do a little bit of... I guess a little bit of baiting, I suppose. I mean, it's going to be a really, really difficult task to actually get the Noldor into an actual battle. So I guess we'll leave that for the next episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.